There are three main types of tourism that you need to know about. They are domestic tourism, outbound tourism, and inbound tourism. Domestic tourism involves taking holidays and trips in your own country. So let's say, for example, there was a farmer living down here in Sussex. And one day he decided to go on holiday in his tractor to Cornwall. He travels down the coast and he has a lovely holiday in Cornwall. Now in Cornwall he is a domestic tourist because he's from the same country. He lives in England and he's travelled to a different place in England to go on holiday. He is a domestic tourist. Even if he just goes for a day trip, let's say he goes for a day trip to London, he will still be a domestic tourist because he's taking a holiday or a trip in his own country. So that is domestic tourism, when you take a holiday or a trip in your own country. Okay? Now let's say that the farmer decides he wants to go to a different country. And he gets on a plane and he goes out of the country to a different country. Let's say he goes out of the country. Then he is an outbound tourist. He's travelled to a different country for a trip or a visit. He is an outbound tourist. Now let's imagine that we're invaded by zombies. And these particular zombies, they travel by plane to the UK. They come from Zombieland and they come by plane. Here they come into the UK. And they would be inbound tourists, because inbound tourists are visitors from overseas who come into the country. So this is, guys, a visitor from Zombieland. He's come into the country, and he is an inbound tourist. So I'm going to go through those three different types of tourism one more time. There's three different types: domestic, outbound, and inbound. Domestic is when you travel, take a holiday or a trip in your own country. So the farmer going to Cornwall from Sussex or going to London is an example of domestic tourism, because he stayed in his own country but still taking a holiday or a trip. Outbound tourism is when you travel to a different country for a holiday or a trip. So if he flies off, even to Ireland or further away to the USA, he is an outbound tourist because he's going out of the country. Okay? Now, inbound tourists are visitors from overseas who come into the country. That's why they're called inbound tourists. Yippee! So those are the three types of tourism you need to know about: domestic, outbound, and inbound. Hope you've got all that. If you're not sure, you can always play the film again.